The purpose of the thesis statement is that it lets the reader know the main idea of your paper. And it answers the question, what am I trying to prove? The thesis statement is always a debatable claim. It's something that may or may not be true. It's going to be your job to find evidence to support your claim. But it's not a factual statement. If you can point to a single piece of evidence that either proves or disproves your thesis statement, it's not a good thesis statement. Let's say our topic was states, and we're trying to come up with a thesis statement. If we simply said there are 50 states, this would be a pretty bad thesis statement. Why? Well, if we had said our thesis was there are 50 states, the only piece of evidence we'd need to prove that was a map. And that would be the end of the worst argumentative essay ever. But if we were to say Puerto Rico should be the 51st state, that would be a much better thesis statement. It's both clear and debatable. Some people might not agree. It simply states the main idea of the essay, that we think Puerto Rico should be the 51st state. And it clearly answers the question, what am I trying to prove? I'm trying to prove that Puerto Rico should be the 51st state. So let's take a look at these two potential thesis statements. The first, New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the country. The second, New Jersey should allow fewer people to move into the state because it's already too crowded. Which one of these do you think makes a better thesis statement? If you said New Jersey should allow fewer people to move into the state because it's already too crowded, you're right. It's both clear and debatable. It states the main idea of our essay, and it answers the question, what am I trying to prove? If you said New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the country, you'd be stating a fact that would be very simple to prove with a single piece of evidence. One more point. Thesis statements should always be specific and not overly broad. If our thesis statement was, drugs are bad, that would be entirely too vague of a statement to make. We could either prove it very simply, or spend pages and pages without ever proving it. But if we said drugs are bad because they can lead to crime and violence, we'd have a much more specific thesis statement, and something that was easier to begin to try and prove. And that makes a good thesis.